Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Swings and Bullish Setups by Black Ink Economics. I am your host, Kyle, author of the Swings and Bullish Setups for the last 6 years now, and I'm finally trying to start getting this online in a video. So what I'm going to do is very quickly just go over everything that I put in the newsletter. I'm going to send this out with the newsletter from now on. And for the first couple of weeks as I do this, I'm going to just leave it on YouTube, unlocked, free for anyone. You don't have to be subscribed to the newsletter to see the research notes and technical analysis. Feel free to share this with anybody. I would really appreciate that. So to start, this week is a little bit different from last week. Last week, going into the week, Friday charts were all screaming bullish. SPY was bullish. All the inverses were bearish. It was clearly going to be a good week, and I put that in the newsletter last week. And this week, everything's still residually bullish, but after such a major week, you're kind of wondering how long is this going to last? Especially considering the fact that on Wednesday we have the interest rate news coming out. So it's widely expected to be 0.75. However, Thursday and Friday last week, traders started kind of increasing the probability that they thought maybe it would be 0.5. And if it is 0.5 instead of 0.75, that would lay a little bit of a fire under the market, even if they followed through with it. But if the expectations are 0.5 and they come through with a 0.75, expect the market to kind of crash a little bit, going back to like Thursday levels from last week. So that's what I'm going to be prepared for. As far as it goes to those, I think it's going to be a bullish Monday and Tuesday. I'm doing this before futures are open on Sunday. Usually I wait, but to do the video, I'm doing it before futures are open. But I kind of feel like if traders were really anticipating 0.5 Thursday and Friday, that blind optimism maybe will continue Monday and Tuesday, and then reality will smack them in the face when Powell speaks on Wednesday. Last week in the newsletter, I really hit on nat gas. Natural gas, the week before Halloween, is always the week to enter. And then the spike happens sometime before the end of November on like 80% of the previous years. Last week, Monday, Tuesday, it just went bananas. If you were in calls, you quadrupled your money, if not more. And then on Thursday, as kind of expected, the inventory came out and it put a little brakes to it as usual. People were overly bullish, and then reality hit them when inventory comes out, and inventory is going to come out every Thursday, so we can wait for that. But anytime we see like cold weather on the West Coast, anticipate that that's going to go east, and maybe try to get ahead of it. Pay attention to NOAA weather reports, and do your best to try to get ahead of natural gas. It ran so hard last week that I'm still looking for another dip to try again. But this is the time of year for that. Crypto miners, I'm going to avoid this week. Last week we hit them. This week I stepped off on Friday because of the interest rate expectations for Wednesday and how that's going to have a bigger impact on Bitcoin than probably the wider market. So I'm sure I'll look at it again after that goes by, but I'm not playing any Bitcoin miners or anything like that this coming week. And then a very important catalyst to discuss over the next 2 weeks is Singles Day in China. They have this event. It's a big retail event. $1 billion is spent on Alibaba in a single day, and the run up to that day causes almost every low flow Chinese ticker to see some kind of move. It's just when you have an event where you can bet on low flow Chinese tickers, it's a lot of fun to do it because they can be absolutely insane. And Singles Day every year is exactly that. It's usually promoted heavily by social media people and Reddits and things like that. And, my plan is to get ahead of it, be in before the volume comes. I started on Friday and we'll talk about that. And I plan to continue accumulating those this week leading into November 11th. All right, so let's start with Meta, MUTA. Meta hit the knife catcher scanner on the website. It's a scanner that you can subscribe to. The knife catcher looks for a massive sell-off, really, maybe not unforeseen, but a giant sell-off, bad news, and then a reversal, and then that earliest reversal signal. So we got the 1 hour reversal signals on Friday afternoon, and I made a move into some Meta calls. And, it's risky because they did have a terrible earnings, but the market is a series of overreactions and overcorrections, and I'm hoping for an overcorrection on Monday and Tuesday. I plan on exiting this trade completely before the interest rate news comes out. So that's a thought. GTEC, this is the low flow Chinese ticker I bought. Their address is the United States, but don't let that get in the way of the fact that 4 subsidiaries are in China. and a lot of their business is done in China. So even though they're a U.S. company, they run with low float China, and they're a very low float ticker. They also have warrants that exercise over $4. So it's an interesting time for them. They've been selling off for quite some time, and you can see how the volume is starting to pick up in that relative volume line. The technicals are starting to look really, really good. The TTM scalper is bearish, but that scalper is the only bearish signal. It's without the accompanying PPS, so it's much less significant. If the PPS shows up Monday pointing down, and you're not in yet, let it come down a little bit. But this has a very wide spread and a very low float. And I got caught on Friday trying to get in this, and I think it was like 216. I was like, I can get cheaper, and then all of a sudden, 3,000 shares, and it's at 222, and that's all. So I made a move into this already, and I plan on playing it for this run up into Singles Day. AGFY, this is one we've been playing over and over and over again. We played it 3 times over the last 2 weeks, and I entered it again on Friday, late on Friday, because it's just set up again, run along support. The MACD and the DPO MOBA are the 2 really big signals that I see, but everything is kind of curling back up. And while we're maybe a little bit early because the TTM trend is still red, those arrows are still pointing down, I have a feeling we're going to see those blue arrows show up Monday morning. And I plan on getting up early and Colorado time 2 in the morning, just to make sure that if it spikes in the morning, I can sell it, because this tends to, the last 3 times in the last 2 weeks, it's a morning runner and sells off by the afternoon, and it's just the best rinse and repeat for me. So I am in it again for the 4th time now, I guess, and in the last month it's been great. Just catch the low and sell the spike. They also have the MJ Biz convention coming up in a week and a half, so that could be leading to a lot of volume. HCTI is another one of these rinse and repeat plays from last week. If you're in the alert group or if you're in Discord, we played HCTI, and it's super volatile because of the spread between the bid and the ask. But you can get that low. You can get that low bid if you're patient. And there are times when the bid and the ask will start to tighten, where it'll be like 25.6 and 26.0, and that 0.4 cents difference is great. That's when I would pay the ask. In a situation like this, where it's 24 on the bid and 26 on the ask, I'm not. That's 11% you're sacrificing, and I'm not going to do that. But if I can get it for 24 cents and maybe put a stop loss just under 22.0, like 21.9, that would be a great move. And I think it's going to be a short one. I think it's going to jump up to like 35.40, and as soon as it does, it's never wrong to take profits, especially this one, because profits are short-lived. You can look at just the chart last week. It spiked Monday, and if you didn't get out of it in the first 2 hours, you didn't get a profit. You didn't get a big profit. There was still profit there, but it was a big profit for those first 2 hours. And I think the group, we managed to sell. I don't know what you guys did. I was selling a quarter at a time. I think I sold half, near that high, and then my last quarter, I sold like for a much smaller profit. But then I added it back, and then sold it, and it was great. So DXF, another low float Chinese ticker. This is one that I almost entered last week, but the technicals just weren't winding up. They're so close. It's in a squeeze. The TTM wave is over 0, and the Bollinger Bands are squeezed. So we're expecting a bullish expansion. And the fact that the technicals are saying, hey, there might be a bullish expansion coming, and we know that there's a catalyst on the 11th for Singles Day, that's the reason the expansion technicals are showing up. So there are just a few front-loading signals, too. If you see those relative volume bars, higher, 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 while the price is flat and going down a little bit, that's a little bit of a signal of strategic posturing by large pockets that aren't market makers so much as maybe medium-term thinkers, so funds and stuff like that. So it seems like maybe that getting ready for Singles Day isn't just our idea. It looks like some other people are starting to do it also. Next on the list is WIMI. Is another low float Chinese ticker that showed up on the swings and scalps and the textbook swing scanner on Friday. It has some unusual volume, and when I looked at it, I regretted not buying it Friday. I plan on buying it Monday morning. If I can get it for 105, I suppose I would. I'd probably place a stop loss at 89 cents and average down if it were to fall for me. But I'm looking at 120 at the very least, even if it's not Singles Day. And then with the Singles Day stuff, we could see this close out that whole gap all the way to 165. We've seen things like that happen before on Singles Day runs where, the dip over the last month or two is completely taken care of by 1 or 2 1-hour candles. And that's what I'm looking for with WIMI, with a lot of these low float Chinese tickers. WIMI is a strong bullish play for this week. There's not a single bearish technical on that list, and the neutral ones, they're neutral because of what happened last week when the price started to go up. I think people started positioning. Um, you know, I always suggest 2 to 4 weeks before, and then this time I'm a little bit late. But it looks like some positioning started happening and the volume started poking up. And when the volume came, the price started rising. So that's why it's neutral, because volume is supposed to make the price go up. So it's, you look at that, you go, okay, there's no signal there. It's just, that is how the world works. So in this case, it's just not applicable. It's not that it's bearish at all. It's just not applicable. IQ, we're not going to get too far in IQ. It's not my favorite, but it's on the list because it's a very oversold Chinese ticker. It's not low float. It has an options chain, and if it were to come down to like 180, 170 range, I'd probably look at the options chain going into singles day. But I much prefer the low float tickers into singles day, because usually with the low float tickers, it's, they don't necessarily have to have a product that they sell on singles day to get volume. It's just they're part of a movement of the day. So IQ is definitely on the list, but it would have to give me a little bit of a cheap price to do it. JXJT, on the other hand, this one here is new to me this year. I think it might have been a different ticker symbol last year. Lux Venture, what does that say? Lux Venture reminds me of KBLH or something like that, which low float Chinese tickers constantly change ticker symbols. So that could be it. But whatever it is, this isn't a squeeze. The Bollinger Bands are tight. The TTM wave is over zero. The technicals are either neutral or bullish, and they're shifting more bullish. Since it's such a low float, I'm hoping to catch it cheaper. If I can get that 68 cents, that would be sweet. Or if I can get even lower. I don't want to rush into this one, but I definitely want to be in before low float China starts to go. Because I think what's going to happen with this one, since it's kind of newer to the world, is I think there's going to be a run on low float Chinese tickers. People who made their money on that are going to sell those and then go looking for the next round. And they're going to go to FinViz. And they're going to say, Chinese tickers, and they're going to say low float, and JXJT is going to show up on the top of that list. That's the idea for JXJT. QH, very much the same as IQ. It's not my favorite play, but it's there as a oversold Chinese ticker. The last one here, though, is one that I want to highlight, MDJH. If you've been around low float China long enough, you know that MDJH is one that constantly runs and sells off. This year there's been at least 8 spikes of 100%, only to sell off within the next 2-3 candles. So MDJH is one that does it all the time. The thing that's going to bring volume is pumpers. People on StockTwits and Reddit and Wall Street Bets are going to pump this. And I want to get in before that volume starts. So I might even enter before any of the signals get too much more bullish. They're pretty bullish here, and I do like it. With this one, it's a little bit high risk, so I'm going to enter it in pieces, a quarter or a half at a time, and average, maybe not average down, but average in. So if the price comes down a little bit, then I'll average down. If the price is even or going up, then that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to take it slow. I want to be in MDJH in full, by Wednesday. And maybe even my last chunk would be added Wednesday after the interest rates, because I expect 0.75, and then I expect that 0.75 announcement to push the stock market down. And I'll be playing SPY puts, by the way, too, for that, if anyone's interested. All right, so that is the newsletter. If anyone is interested in learning about technical analysis, I'm hosting that seminar on November 26th and 27th. If you join the seminar, if you sign up for it, the second you sign up for it, I'm just going to go online. I'm going to unlock full access on the website for you. So you get all the scanners. All the scanners will text your phone number. You get the Catalyst calendar. You get everything from the moment you sign up for the seminar until a week after the seminar. And that should help pay for the seminar. The seminar also comes with both textbooks, and the textbooks come with lifetime access and the downloads to both textbook swing scanners. Those scanners are high quality scanners. You can use them, and you can also put them on your Thinkorswim and mess around with them and try to improve upon them. They are the foundation for all 7 scanners on the website. So those textbook swing scanners are huge, and the textbook is written so that a beginner could walk away from it and immediately start using technical analysis. So that 26th, 27th seminar, I expect that on the 28th, people who did not know how to trade with technicals on that Friday are going to start Monday going, oh yeah, this one will go up because the Williams is over -50, or there's that PPS signal Kyle talked about. And we're going to cover those things. And that whole week after, you're going to be texting me, and we're going to be trading together. And I really look forward to just anyone who can join us. So go to www.blackinkeconomics.com and register for the seminar. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's the last one of 2022. So I look forward to that. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week.